us this evening, captain of the Regular Warriors Ashton Golding and lead coach Jermaine Coleman. We're ready to take your questions. Please raise your hand and identify yourself and your organisation, and we can commence.
Good history tonight, Jamaica. Sorry, if you go.
Oh, sure. Megan, Sportsbeat. Yeah, Jermaine, bit of history tonight, you know, that last try, how are you feeling after that, and how proud are you of then getting over the line for it?
Yeah, massively proud. I think it's a huge moment for us as an organisation. It's a huge moment for Rugby League, and there's not more of a fitting person amongst our group to deserve that. Really, Ben on his 300th game is to get the try and make history and have that there written on paper for the rest of his life. It's going to be an amazing moment for him. So I'm chuffed to bits for him. I think, you know, we really wanted to make this a special occasion for him today. We had a pretty emotional sort of shirt presentation this morning with him, and for him to cap that performance off with a try is amazing.
Ash, did the night go? Did you have preconceptions of how the night would go, and how did reality match up with the expectations?
Well, first of all, as a player, I like to go into the game just fully focused on ourselves and what we can do and how we're going to approach the game and our game plan, and I think we stuck to it. I think, you know, we did ourselves proud in areas, you know, clear areas where we need to fix up, but effort and attitude wise, you can't knock it. And you know, the game plan to get them, we started to get them at certain bits, but you know, sometimes class shines through and they close the gaps and they just capitalise on the back of it. So us going into the game, it was all about us, and you know, after the game, it still becomes all about us and what we can do off the field, and then what we can do on the field building forward is not only massive for the competition that we're in now, but it's massive for the game of Rugby League, and hopefully we can capture people's imagination and start to change people's perception of a North of England sport and actually throw this sport to everyone and everywhere, and that's the ultimate goal that we're trying to do. So tonight, from 1 to 17, I'm so proud of the boys, and to be able to go out there and be the perceived leader. There were 17 leaders on that field, and like Jermaine says, to cap it off with Benjo the Bishop scoring that try, there just couldn't be a more fitting person to cap off his 300 appearances. So ultimately just pride tonight, and we stuck to our game plans and systems, and you know, in the end we got the try, and that's what it's about for us. So you know, really happy with the way that we came through at the end, and the last 9 minutes, you know, it could have been a blowout because everything was gone. You know, we're 60 down and we could have just thrown it away, but we didn't. We stuck at it, and you know, we got something from the game, and if that's not to take something to inspire kids, then I'm just not sure what else we're doing this for.
Jermaine, Andrew Voss had a lot of fun with the short restarts. He said it was a world record for getting the ball back for short restarts. Can you tell us a little bit about the little plan there?
Yeah, I think ultimately, you know, New Zealand are a big strong team, and I think we saw last week in Ireland we struggled slightly through the middle, and you know, we had a lot of talk this week about denying them some space up the middle, and you know, they've got some big poppers, and I don't think it would have made sense. I think people spend a lot of time really making a lot of common sense, but it made no sense to be kicking it 60 metres and then giving them a 20-metre run up. So we thought, you know, it's more opportunity for us to get the ball back. We looked at when they played Leeds, and Leeds did it quite a lot, and I think they were on about 60% sort of conversion rate in terms of getting the ball back. So we thought we'd spend a bit of time this week practicing on it. Rushy, to give him his credit, his kick-offs, his dropouts, everything. He got the distance, the height, everything perfect, and you know, what we'll do is jumping around like a salmon out there and like a fish. So you know, we managed to get the ball back. It just gives us a chance to be in the game. Obviously, you see we kind of switched it up a little bit. There's a couple that went a little bit longer, and you know, by the end of the game, they had probably 7-8 people on the front line. It allowed us a little bit more space at the back, and it was a back carrying it back up forward rather than the middle. So just switching it up and giving ourselves as many opportunities as we possibly can to compete, really.
Judy?
Yeah, looking ahead to the Lebanon game, you just mentioned that you've been switching up for this one. Do you feel that you'll be doing the same moving forward as well? More changes to come, or do you think you've got kind of a formula that you want to work with?
I think we've tried to work with the same formula week after week, really. And I think what you saw today was probably the progression of that. It's the progression of spending 2-3 weeks together and just getting on point a little bit and getting more to where we want to be. You know, like I said, we're still a far distance from where we want to be and a far distance from what we want to achieve. But the point is that when we're working forward and we're making progress, and over this course of this sort of month that we're together to make the progress from where we were, you know, with players from the domestic league and players from League One and players from Championship to where we potentially might be at the end of the competition. I think there'll be huge growth there, and ultimately that's, you know, I mentioned it there, that's what the sport's about, that's what the competition's about. I don't think you'll probably find another team, in my opinion, biased as it may well be, that will make the growth that we will make over this competition. So, you for us, it's just that learning curve. It's that first step on the platform. We said this at the start of the competition. It was about our legacy. It was about where we're going forward, and we wanted to earn everybody's respect. I think the boys have done that. And credit to them. Ash has put 2 80-minute performances against 2 international teams, and top tackler in the competition last week. I wouldn't be sure if he'd go far off doing exactly the same again. Again, we base everything that we do on effort and choices, and you see out there the boys turn up for each other, and the boys make the right choices for each other on a regular occasion. We have to just get a little bit smarter and a little bit more technical with some of the stuff, but again, that comes with experience, it comes with exposure at this level. Ash is working at that level on a day-to-day basis, whereas Siobhan Bailey, for example, just misses out the nuances in the tackle about where you can win the tackle and slow the tackle down. But the experience that he's got and the opportunity that he's had and what he's going to take back to the island when he goes back is going to be phenomenal. And that's what we want. We want to grow the game, and that has been a big part of what we're going to do.
Was there much said out there, the Kiwi players saying much at full time, and the Guard of Honour, was that a spontaneous thing, or was it organised by you, or can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, no, I think what makes tonight even more special for me personally is because you're not just going up against an opposition that are ranked #1 in the world. You're going up against good people, and they were really good people. In the heat of the battle, it's a competition, and you've got to have that fire in your belly. But as soon as that final whistle goes, the overall feeling from New Zealand towards us was respect. There was respect in the way that we're trying to change things in Rugby League, and they respected the effort. They knew they'd been in a flipping contest tonight. Sorry about that. They know they've been in a contest tonight, and that's what we wanted. We're not going to get respect off the field by the base of Jamaica's got a Rugby League team. Actually, we get the opposite. We get a lot of disrespect, and it infuriates me. But do you know what we do? We have to go out there and get respect on the field. And I feel like the scoreline looks a certain way, but if you watch that game, there was moments in there where we're competing, and there was set for set and cycles. And for me, that's where we earn respect. And I think respect comes when we don't say dying at the back end of the game. We go and we score a try, and we just keep pushing and pushing. And after that whistle, the overall feeling from the New Zealand boys was absolute respect for us and what we're trying to achieve, and equally from us to them. We have to respect New Zealand and what they're about and what they're about to go do. Wish them well. I hope they go win it. Things like that. Because they're a great opposition. But to test yourself and to know where you are as a rugby league player, you've got to play them, and you've got to play them consistently. And that's why we want to keep pushing and pushing and gain qualification for 25 and push ourselves again. And who knows where we can be. We've seen where we've come in 5 years. It's why I've been on the journey for 5 years, and we've got to this point. I think give us another 5 years with a bit more funding and see where we get, because the sky is the limit for us, and we know that, and we know what we do internally within our group is the right things. We enjoy ourselves off the field together, and on the field you can see, as you just saw, we just work for each other. So respect was the first thing that they said to us, and then they said, you're staying in Leeds and you want to have a beer.
It's interesting that the last try denied New Zealand their biggest ever win, and that was against Tonga in 1999. So if you can kind of go as far as Tonga had in that space of time, you'd be pretty happy, wouldn't you? 74-0 they beat Tonga in 1999, and now they can win at Tonga.
Yeah, I think that was something that the staff spoke about before we got the boys into camp, was about what Tonga had done and what they created at the last World Cup, and the momentum that they've had from that and how they've grown from it. And it's important for us to try and replicate that and do it our way, do it the way we want to do it, but use them as an example of the way that a team and an organisation can progress and make them steps forward. And I think credit to the guys off the field, Romeo and Roy and Dixon and everyone back on the island, the work that they've done. And as Ash said, Ash was involved when we went over France, was it? Went over to France, and just the steps that we've made forward, the players that we've brought through, and the players that we could have had within the group is massive. And I just think we are onto a bit of a winner here, and I think it does require the sport it does require the sport to back us and give us a bit more support. We are a small organisation. We're doing our very best to fund ourselves and compete with the best in the world here, but for many years players have paid for themselves, and this is if the sport wants to grow and the sport wants to do all the things it talks about and being as inclusive sport as what it needs to be, then it needs to start looking at where they're putting their funding and what work they're actually doing away from the big teams, the Super League teams, the Englands, the New Zealands, and how they're supporting ourselves, how they're supporting Greece, how they're supporting Wales, all them teams that need some support to grow the game, because there's massive potential there. And that's what we're asking for. We're asking for an opportunity, and I think you see out there if we're given that opportunity, then we've got something to deliver on the field.
Anyone else? Thank you very much, everyone. We
Cheers,
appreciate it.
guys. Thank you.